Let's go Dolphins! Let's go Dolphins!
Hello everyone and welcome to the first edition of Heights Hoopla. I'm Morgan Chapman, I'm a senior and I'm a communications major, and today I'll be speaking with head coach of the men's basketball team, Patrick Beeline.
And I'm Lauren Zazzaro. I'm interviewing head coach Gina Castelli of the women's basketball team, and I'm also a communications and sports marketing major. Really excited to share with you this season of Heights Hoopla.
Welcome back to Heights Hoopla. I'm Morgan Chapman, and joining me now, head coach of the men's basketball team, Patrick Beeline. Coach, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Morgan.
Can we just reflect back last week, I should say, playing Syracuse in the Carrier Dome? What was your biggest takeaway from that game?
Yeah, well, I think we started off the first 15 minutes, we played pretty well. And then as the turnover started to mount a little bit, you know, they're too talented of a team to recover from that. So overall, we just took some positives. You know, we executed some zone offense well. We had some great rotations within our defense. So you find the little tiny things out of that loss to hopefully build on and to have a successful year this year.
Coach, obviously this year's team's a lot different than last year's team, but you do have some returning faces. How have you been able to mesh together, obviously, the transfer kids and then the guys that were on the team last year?
Yeah, the transfers have bought in all at once, and I credit that to CJ, O'Shea, Tom Brown, and Tyree Chambers. They kind of brought it in and have done my job in the sense of this is how we do things in the locker room, this is how we do things off the court. So they're kind of, you know, the player coach with that stuff. That's really made the transition easier for those new transfers. So, you know, I credit them. Everyone has bought in thus far, and I expect them to continue to get better as team chemistry rolls through the year.
And with that being said, Coach, obviously tomorrow night the season kicks off against Georgian Court. You know, what's the philosophy of scheduling all these tough non-conference games?
Yeah, well, it's not really a philosophy. Nobody wanted to come play us at Lemoyne this year. I think we're a victim of our own success a little bit, although we graduated a lot. So we want to go out and play, you know, the top competition. And why we do that, the NE10 is so talented. And so if we go out and play top competition, you know, win or lose, that's going to help us get better for the tough NE10 schedule of 20 games. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and we'll embrace each day.
Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Yep, thanks, Morgan.
Before we get started, I just wanted to congratulate you for being inducted into the Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame last month. I'm sure that was a special moment for you.
Yeah, it was. It was quite an honor, and just makes me feel really old. So but no, it was a great honor. Thank you very much, Lauren.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the season.
Yeah.
I know you have 6 new faces on a roster of 13.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to seeing from them this year, and what have you already seen?
Obviously growth, you know. What have I seen? Honestly, they're just, for the freshmen especially, just a lot of potential and good talent, you know, great enthusiasm, very committed. We have kids that come in and they work on their game outside of just practice, so it brings out a nice enthusiasm and energy to the rest of the girls too. So, you know, it's going to be probably a little bit up and down with freshmen, but definitely see some great potential moving forward.
Those are great qualities to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And to open the season, I know you have a pretty long stretch with conference series, and you open up with AIC, who's a pretty difficult opponent.
Yeah.
So what are you looking to take into that game?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously being on the road is tough, especially at AIC. Dana Watts is one of the better players in the league. They return most of their players, so we got 3 things against us in a sense. But I like what I see in my team. You know, I like our fight and I like our toughness, and that's really what we're going into. So, you know, we definitely know we got 2 tough games with AIC and at Southern Connecticut.
Definitely.
2 typically tough games on the road for us, but it's new season and it's a lot of new kids. So, you know, again, going in with a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
Well, you'll be ready, I'm sure.
I hope so, yeah.
And with that being said, what is one thing that you'll focus on in practice in this upcoming week to prepare?
I think right now we're trying to just fine-tune some things that, you know, maybe we saw in the last few scrimmages that we have, and also just, you know, helping them understand what the NE10 is about. You know, I think that's what you're trying to do from the beginning of preseason to now, the toughness that you have to display to win games on the road. So that's really kind of what we've been keying on most of the week.
That's great. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
I
Lauren.
wish you well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for tuning in this week for the first edition of Heights Hoopla, and big thanks to Gina Castelli and Coach B for joining us this week.
And you can stream all games on the NE10 now, and obviously tomorrow the men's basketball team will tip off against Georgian Court at 7 p.m.